All right, let's talk about the things you're going to be doubling down on for 2025.
So we've talked about video, and I think video is an area that personally I have not pushed really hard in. I work with lead generation clients. They tend to be a little more video averse, maybe, than ecom folks are. But I think really trying to get more buy-in and have more opportunities to have video assets to work with on various platforms, I think is really going to be important, especially as more more written junk can be created by AI. It's, as Andrew said, it's much harder to create AI video. So if you can, even if they're short, even if they're little snippets, baby steps, people, get,
Oh, but
get some
Julie, but
video, get some video going. I think it's
Julie, have
probably
you?
something.
I agree, but to the point of it being harder to do video, let me introduce you to my AI double video avatar that talks in
Uh-oh.
my voice, has my face. We'll put a link up to this in the description so people can take a look and tell me how
He's
good you
called
think
Little
my sound
Fred.
is.
He's called Little Fred. That's what we
Yeah.
call him at conferences.
It's scary. It's scary. It's a little, I mean, that piece is a little scary. I try to think about that piece too much because, you don't want people, well, you could think about where that technology could go. But for brands, if we're talking about, people that we're working with, the time of being able to just be like, no, we don't do video. I don't know that that's really going to be sustainable. So I think it's something that if you're not already doing it, at a minimum, you need to be talking about it, putting the resources in place and planning for it to be able to start adding it into the mix of what you're doing.
Makes sense. Andrew, let's go to you.
So I have three things. The number one thing I'd say is smart bidding and understanding playtime with smart bidding. Way too many PPC managers today just put on a target, increase it, decrease it, and don't know what's happening. It's crazy to me, and I think it's crazy to many who did manual bidding to just let smart bidding run its course and see what happens. There are so many cool mechanisms to the way that smart bidding bids as you increase and decrease targets, whether or not it should be a 10% increase or a 20 or 30% increase slash decrease. It does different things. And the way that it kind of expands as you lower your ROAS during certain time, increases your bids as you lower the target during different times of the year is just mind blowing, the results you can get out of playing with it. So I just encourage everybody, smart bidding playtime. It's become a really big thing to do audits for in-house teams. And the amount of times we have the conversation that goes, so why do you still run this ROAS target? Well, we've always run it. Oh, stop. Or we don't want to rock the boat. Oh, stop. You have to rock the boat. So the way the smart bidding works is that it works by the historical performance, and it utilizes that historical performance over and over and over and over. But if things change in your business, so all of a sudden a brand or category has become bigger, but 3, 6, 9, 12 months ago, it learned that that category didn't do well from a search term perspective, it's not going to magically pick that up again. You have to tell it by decreasing the ROAS or by grouping ROAS targets together through bid portfolio strategies, that it has to go out and chase some things. So I would just highly encourage playtime with smart bidding as a key skill that any PPC manager should be able to do today. Second thing is blended ROAS, marketing efficiency ratio, MER, anything where you look at your overall revenue versus your marketing spend. That's something that's become extremely popular these days. And I, for one, love it. It overrides a lot of issues with tracking accuracies and avoids mainly the attribution conversation. I would say just double down on that. Double click on it. Go one step beyond just going, we have revenue of $1 million and we can allow ourselves to spend 15%. That conversation is too one-sided. It's too ad focused. You don't take SEO into perspective. You don't take oftentimes affiliate email direct traffic into perspective, which is one of the benefits of it, but it's also its biggest downside, that you're not thinking about those other channels anymore. The entire conversation, all 2024 in Savvy, was what we're spending on Meta, what we're spending on Google, what's our blended ROAS. And it's too simple. Net profit, contribution margin, new customers versus existing customers, lifetime value optimization. You don't have to do it all. Just pick one of those aspects to include into that blended ROAS conversation, and you will be able to see you can actually have more buttons to push than you thought you could. And third one, I would just say just ads. Just write better ads. Everybody, every single person listening to this, write better ads. If you go out and you do what Julie said, search for a keyword, see what everybody else is writing, and what the reason why shopping does better than search is that you can see the price in shopping and you can see the product. So if I'm looking for a winter jacket to go to Denmark so I don't freeze with my San Diego spring jacket during winter snowstorms in Denmark, which I do every year, then I go, okay, that rainbow colored $3,000 jacket, that's not for me. I'm not going to click that. That $400 technical jacket from this menswear brand, I like that in olive green. I'm clicking that, and I'm already qualified to click on one ad over the other. When you click on shopping, you can get the same effect in search. Get the pricing in there and get some qualifiers in there. Right? Why people shouldn't, get people to stop clicking your ads, because that means you get the right people to click on your ad. So if you have an ad that just says menswear on sale, I don't know what I'm clicking on. That's why search doesn't work in e-commerce. It's because everybody does that. Write something specific. Is it street inspired menswear? Is it stretchy menswear? I'm Danish on my brain, but is it what? Get some good examples in comfort menswear, or package offers, things that get the right person to click on your ad, and you'll just see search do much better. So just double down on search, write some better ads, ask ChatGPT, what could I write differently here? And it's not that difficult.
Well, and that goes back to the blending of social and search. Social seems to be so good at knowing exactly what kind of menswear you seem to prefer. Why can't that not exist in search, right? If you do that more generic query. And that's one of my premises that I've been talking about a lot, is that large language models are basically starting to serve as our memories. By the way, I'm wearing the B computer, this yellow thing on my wrist. It's recording everything that happens throughout my day. So this conversation later on, I'll get bullet points. But if I go to a store and I ask a question about whether the SodaStream refill canisters are in stock, it'll remember that too, and it'll know if they were or not. And it'll tell me, hey, Fred, go online and order that thing, right? So, but as these things become more and more of your memory, I can now go to a search engine and I can say refill, and it'll know that. What kind of refill am I talking about? Well, I went to the store and I was talking about a SodaStream refill. So a very generic query can actually lead to a very specific answer because it knows me, right? And that's, I think, how search will change because of large language models.